comes Duterte, who says that I want a safe and comfortable life, suddenly the Philippines is the wild, wild east. But coming over, we do have our problems, we do have our issues, but people are saying it's safer now. People are walking the streets in the evening, and people are afraid to sell drugs. Some of our ASEAN neighbors are telling us, give us some advice on drugs because it's increasing here. And what did some of our security people say? They're moving to you because they're scared to do it in the Philippines. Because we know we will deal with you decisively. So question, can we assure foreign dignitaries of safety when they go to the Philippines? As we all know, when there's a visit, extraordinary naman yung preparations for security. And APEC in 2015 and the 50th year of ASEAN last year is proof not only of the brilliance, resilience, creativity of Filipinos in hosting, but also of our security forces. Our police and military and other security forces from the local government to the national government have gotten pretty good. How many heads of state were in the Philippines, both sa APEC and sa ASEAN, no? But, it's not only, the president is concerned and wants people to be, we believe that people are happy with President Duterte. We believe the president are happy with what's happening now, no? But the happiness or content of people will be decided whether they feel safe in their homes, in school, in work, whether they feel safe going to the office and not. That's why when there are abuses, whether it's by the police or military, we take it seriously. But we also have to take seriously the drug problem.
Yeah. Miss? Yeah.
Hi, my name is Yajo and I'm from CNN as well. This question is for the Foreign Secretary. You mentioned that there are easing tensions on the South China Sea, and spokesperson Harry has also mentioned the large amounts of private investment going into the Philippines from China. I was wondering if it's fair to say that Philippines' position on China right now is prosperity first, sovereignty second.
Are you from the U.S.? No.
No.
No. I only asked because I wanted to check if you're from the U.S., then you'd know U.S. history. The French helped the United States become an independent nation. And when the French had their revolution, they asked the Americans for help. But the Americans had to think what's best for them at that point in time. And they decided not to help the French in the French Revolution. So did America go for prosperity first before sovereignty? Or before their ideals or their principles? So each nation, whether it's China, Singapore, US, Canada, acts within its interest. And I'll ask you, what nation wants to have an argument with their neighbors? So, because if you say prosperity first before sovereignty, that means we're giving up our sovereignty. So it's the same thing. If you're saying to the America, you gave up your principle so that you'll have prosperity. I don't believe. I believe that they made the decision based on the information that was there and look what was good for America at that time, and they made that decision. And we can point out to a lot of historical decisions by many countries that people might not have agreed with, but it's best for their people. So we're not giving up a single inch of our sovereignty nor sovereignty rights. Our critics, not only in the Philippines but outside, is making it appear that because there's an arbitration award, there's no more dispute. But there are two disputes. It's the territorial dispute and the dispute under UNCLOS. And what the arbitration court dealt with was the UNCLOS dispute. And there is no enforcement mechanism in the arbitration court. And President talked to our allies, our Western allies, and asked them, or if we start digging for oil, drilling for oil there, will you send our ships and will you guard our ships? You know what was the answer of our Western allies? We don't get involved in issues of territorial claims. So what are we going to do? are we going to, and it's the same thing with Malaysia and Vietnam. We have claims against them. So do we stop our relationship, or do we start fighting Vietnam and Malaysia? Do we start arguing with them in every forum available because we have a dispute regarding sovereignty? So your question is fair, and it's being asked around the world, and I get those questions whether in private meetings or in press briefings. But it's not really between prosperity and sovereignty. It's how you fight for your sovereignty and at the same time take care of your people. So the prosperity of the Filipinos coming from China is not because we gave up sovereignty, but because of how we're dealing with issues of territorial claims and sovereignty. China has not asked us, and I can tell you this very honestly, whether closed door or in open, they've never asked us to give up our claims. They've simply asked us to put some order in how we will discuss these claims and where we should discuss these claims. And you've seen how ASEAN was handled last year, and you saw our statements, and the Philippines was able to steer it quite well. And I have to give the credit to the Filipinos, you know. So I'm willing to further discuss this at other forums, but, you know, we're open to ideas on how to fight for our sovereignty, territorial claim, etc. But as of now, if we compare the Aquino administration strategy and the Duterte strategy, we simply are making do with a bad situation, but we have stopped the bleeding, meaning we have stopped other claimants from getting new features. We have started discussion on the COC. We have jump-started relationship, people-to-people, cultural exchanges, educational exchanges, military to military. And let me finish with this, you know. Yes, we want to fight for what is ours, but we don't want a war. And no one in our region wants a war, because no one will win. You know, so if you look, it's only the Philippines who are not, you know, building up our defenses in the features we hold. Why? We'd rather spend our money on education, on health. You know, of course, we want an aircraft carrier, we want a submarine someday, you know, and that's part of your national security and part of keeping your people safe, you know. But what good is it to have the best military if your people are starving, if your people don't have jobs, if your people are forced to leave the country, and if your people are not safe, you know. So our priorities really is building our economy and keeping our people safe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Secretary Roque.
Thank you very much, and good evening.
Okay, back to our main